I'm Stephen. Welcome to Nash. Do you want to follow me? Okay, so we're in the kitchen living room space, which is where I'd say most shoots tend to focus in because it's quite wide, it's quite big, and great for food shoots. We designed the kitchen island to be quite big. It's just over 3 meters long and 900 deep. We used reclaimed parquet, which a lot of people seem to like, and we have a little solid terrazzo piece around the sink. And then the back is all solid terrazzo as well. So there's quite a lot of texture and lots of, I guess, availability to do different types of shoots. We use wood on the top here to basically add a bit of character and a bit of warmth, because the floor is concrete, which is obviously quite cold, but super modern as well at the same time. And that's really how we tried to do this whole space. That's why in this section, the rear of the house, everything's quite white, everything's quite neutral, a lot of exposed steels, just because when we were designing it, we wanted it to be quite, I guess, honest, because this is an entirely new extension, a new space, whereas the rest of the house is a little bit more traditional from the front. So yeah, this is where we spend most of our time, and I guess this is why most of the shoots spend most of their time in here, is because there's a lot of different options. Dining space over there, living space over here with a log burner. It's quite a big, nice kitchen to be in and to shoot in, I think. So this is the living space. So working log burner. We usually leave quite a lot of logs around, but the thing is we're just coming into some warm weather. We've almost run out. So yeah, this is quite nice space to chill and obviously to shoot. Dining space here by the big industrial-looking windows and doors. Quite mid-century with the furniture, which is my taste, being honest. I'm pretty obsessed with plants. Garden, I'm not so great with. It's all nice and green and relatively well maintained. But indoor plants, I love. I just don't think you can get enough greenery, being honest. So yeah, we keep everything as green as possible. In most of the rooms, you'll find a lot of plants. And again, always nice in a photograph. You can't beat a plant. So yeah. Dining table. This is another. Was it a flea market? I can't remember, a flea market or the auctioneer room. This is a 1960s alcohol table and alcohol Windsor chairs. This piece here in the corner is my sideboard, which I love. I've had this for probably 20 years. My grandma left it to me, and I love it. It's a G-plan. It's everybody's favourite G-plan mid-century piece. I have it absolutely stacked full of my objet d'art, which I'm obsessed with. There's cupboards full of knickknacks in this house. If you ever need more props, just open a cupboard, you'll find 100. And again, just more space for plants. Yeah, more of the same, really, themes. So this was also my grandma's lamp. She was mad on mid-century, but back then it was just called modern, I assume. And we got this lovely little shade from an antiques market in Brighton when we visited. Similar theme to my other favourite pieces of furniture. This swivel chair is a 1950s swivel chair that was actually my nan's, who left it to me, and I loved it as a kid. I used to jump on it, swivel around. She used to shout at me. It was repulsed probably 3 times, all because of me as a kid. So when my nan passed away, it was 100% coming to me, and again, that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I think that chair, I love it. It's also the cat's favourite chair. It's the cat seat these days. But yeah, I love it. So when we renovated the house, we did a 2-story extension on the back here and the ground floor extension here, which is actually the dining space that we've got here. No major issues, obviously a lot of planning issues as always, and there was a few structural dramas that we had to deal with to get the floating window in. But overall it was quite straightforward. And yeah, we've ended up with this beautiful black cedar wood extension that we've painted black with the big black sort of Crital style doors, which I know everyone's very keen on, as am I. And yeah, they open double, so if you did want to get a shot inside, from outside it's quite easy to do because these are, I think, just under 3.5–4 meters when they're open. So yeah, it's quite a nice shot inside. My wife's bike lives here, so people always ask me, will the bike be here for the shoot? Yes, because she doesn't ride it. And it lives here mainly because we have nowhere else to put it, and it looks really nice here, and I'm a bit of a OCD when it comes to keeping stuff in the same place. I should not say that for shoot, should I? You can do what you want, move stuff, do whatever you want. It just looks really nice. Yeah, and also a bit of a mix from the mid-century stuff. This is 1900s, so it's quite a bit different. And then into the front living room. These doors open both ways, so it makes it a little bit easier to shoot into this room. So don't be worried about the massive doors being in shot. And I said a little bit about the back of the space being quite modern because it's all quite new. Because this is a red brick cottage, really, we wanted to keep the front rooms, again, quite honest with the building. So in here we've got all the original coving. We went for a much warmer, I think cosier, darker colour. Much more sort of traditional colours, terracotta, burnt orange sofa, another mid-century coffee table, and some beautiful Czechoslovakian cocktail chairs, which I don't think I've ever had a cocktail on, but I hope somebody has on a shoot. And again, if not, get one in. Working gas fireplace, and my drum kit, which I'll obviously move for you. The record players are, I think it's a 1960s Grenadier Hacker, which one's an amp and one's a record player. These were a gift from my wife. We went to an antique market probably 5–6 years ago. I saw it, I chatted to the guy selling it for probably 45 minutes, and then I didn't buy it because I thought it was a little bit out of my price range. And we came home, my wife made an excuse saying she was going to the shops and came back with a record player for me, so super sweet. So yeah, again, just, it sounds a bit cliche, but there isn't much in this house that I don't love or doesn't have a bit of me. Cat fight! Hey! Hang up! So this is actually one of my favourite pieces of furniture in the house and in the world, and it was about 20 quid. So me and my wife, when we bought this house, we spent a lot of time in the local auction rooms looking for furniture to fill the space, and every week we went in, and this was actually the auction house's notice board where they actually told you when the auctions were. And one day, about 2 months into going to the auction house every weekend, we saw there was a little sticker in the corner, and it was for sale, so we had to buy it. And since then we've just filled it with our own little bits and birthday cards and little special things that we find, and now it's going to start getting full with the kids' drawings, I assume. But yeah, this is literally my favourite piece in the whole house. Because it's a cottage at the front, and we wanted to maintain a bit of the traditional character of the house, because it's an absolute bomb site and very old-fashioned when we bought it. I actually love the stairs. When we stripped them off, the plan was to strip them, sand them, paint them, oil them, carpet them, you know, all the normal stuff. But when we stripped them back and saw the sort of 30 different layers and 120 years of paint on them, I literally absolutely fell in love with them. So we kept them exactly as they were. We've taken all the nails out so you won't chop your toes off. But I kept them absolutely as they were, as a bit of an homage to the old house, really. And I love it, love them. Let me take you upstairs. So when you come up the stairs onto the landing, we've gone for a two-tone, almost a salmon plaster pink with white above. Again, I love this colour. This was my choice. Everyone always asks if this was my wife. No, this is my choice of colour. And then this is the kids' room, which I think upstairs is the only room without a colour band, actually. So this is quite a nice light green, south facing on the back, so it's always quite bright if you're doing a kids shoot or a kids room shoot. We are open to using anything you need. We're pretty easy with everything, but in here, if you've got a shoot with kids, feel free to use any of the toys, move anything, use anything. But yeah, this is our little daughter's room. She loves it, yeah. This is our spare bedroom, which again we're totally open for use of every room in the house for shoots. But I know a lot of people tend to use it for wardrobe and makeup and things if they're not actually shooting. So we double bed in the corner. The room's kind of split into an L shape, so we have the kind of sleeping pod in the back. 2 windows, so the light in here is always really, really nice. And then this section of the room is more the wardrobes and nice French set of drawers there, a picture above. It's all quite pretty. And again, lots of plants around, as there is in every room of the house. So yeah, feel free to use whatever you want. The bedside table is actually the first TV my dad built. My dad was a bit of a tinkerer and engineer, so he actually made TVs when he was, I think, about 13. And so that's the first one he built. And yeah, it's now my side table, which I don't think he'd appreciate, but it looks really nice. And I don't use that TV, it's a perfect spot for it. My dad actually made this lamp as well out of, we went antique finding to an antiques market with my dad, and he bought 2 or 3 of these old French fireman's hydrant. What do you call them? The firemen used to wear this on their back as a backpack, pump the water and put fires out. And my dad, as he did, turned things into lamps. So this is my fire lamp. Maybe the whole sort of building brain and how things work and how you can put things together is a bit of my dad. And my mum, not by trade, is very, very designy and very crafty. She's always done so much decorating and beautiful things to the houses when we were growing up. It would change every couple of weeks, my mum's taste, and we'd always be decorating and reading magazines and stuff. So I think a bit of a mix of both. But yeah, I think there's definitely a bit of my mum and dad in what I do for a living. So yeah, for sure. Okay, so we're in the bathroom, which is my favourite room in the house, and I think a lot of shoots tend to like it as well, which is great. It's my favourite room because it was actually very hard to work out where to put a bathroom, because there wasn't a bathroom actually in the whole house when we bought it. So that's probably why it was a real noodle twister to get it in. But in here we've got a lot of different textures. We've got the painted brick walls. We've got the micro cement concrete on the 2 walls, which is totally waterproof. So if you need to do a shoot where you're showering, go for it. And a nice big cast iron tub, all wall mounted solid brass stuff. When we extended and took the chimney out, we kept this big steel exposed. Again, I'm pretty big on honesty with construction and not hiding things in big boxes, so it also left us loads of room to hang some nice plants. And up here we have a double height ceiling with the exposed joists, which was again a bit of a design must, because there's no window in here because we had to chop this room into the house. So it gave us opportunity to put a skylight in, and it literally makes the room, it wouldn't be the same without it. So yeah, it's my favourite room. I absolutely love it. Okay, so this is our master bedroom. We've got a bit of a colour band here as well, with white on top and a white ceiling to keep the ceilings nice and high. We've gone for grey in this room, so it's quite neutral. It's, I think, quite nice and easy to shoot. And the furniture in here is back to the sort of mid-century vibe of the kitchen, because this is a more modern space. We have a mid-century dresser here for our drawers. We have a nice mid-century bench in the window, and relatively similar colouring on the mid-century sideboards. Nice big French rattan bed head. Again, it's quite eclectic, much like most of the rooms. It's quite an eclectic mix of stuff. Even down to the artwork, we have a lot of text, font-based artwork. The more, what do we call this? Abstract artwork up here, and a couple of our pictures that we obviously feel free to move that. But yeah, this is our master bedroom. Couple of little things which some people don't know is if you're doing, I don't know, makeup or a shoot for that kind of brand, in the middle of the wardrobes, which you can feel free to open, we're pretty easy. It has a vanity space in the chimney, which we designed for all of our stuff and to keep everything a bit clutter free. But there's room for a bench here, and if you ever, say, looking for a shoot with makeup, mirror in the middle, sit down here, hair drying, whatever you want. There's plugs in here as well. Yeah, it's a little space for stuff. And then it all tucks away. Hi, I'm Stephen. This is Nash. Would you like to fire a note? Okay, so we're in the open plan living room kitchen, which is I imagine shoots should use it. If they don't use it, they should. It's beautiful, but I actually don't know. I'm not here for shoots, so I couldn't tell you if anybody uses it. But I would hope so. I would hope so. Somebody should use it other than the cat. I've said favourite piece like 10 times now, haven't I? But in the record collection, you'll find Michael Jackson versus Megadeth. You know, there's a bit of everything. So yeah, if you need some music for a shoot, you're pretty much set here. Oh man, sorry, we've picked a really gnarly area. My wife's so messy. It's unbelievable. Get that in the edit. What was I going to say? We're in the bathroom, which is my favourite room in the house, believe it or not, mainly because I spend so much time in the bath. Nah, that's weird. I do, but I don't. Yeah, that's a weird thing to say. So thanks for coming. Hope to see you guys at the next shoot soon. Cheers.